Super Eagles have rediscovered their, scoring ability. Well, this is Capital Sports. We welcome you on that note. I remain Abdullah Hejia on the driving seat. And today will not be different, where we'll try to gather some of the happenings around the sporting world to share with you at this moment and to also make you a part of it, because sports is life and sports is one thing that we must continue to do to bring happiness, joy onto the faces of our team and viewers and also Nigerians. And today will not be different as usual. We're going to have the maestro himself around here to also join me on the talking point, also give us depth and perspective to some of this issue, particularly what actually happened to the Super Eagles that were able to get 10 goals in just one match. One match, yes, you heard me. Well, let's go on a very short break. When we return, we'll come back to talk more on some of the issues. Thank you for staying. Well, Capital Sports today will be taking a review of what actually happened in faraway Morocco, and also looking at some of the highlights and the talking points of actually what happened to the team. Is it the arrival of Pesero? Is it that the players have also discovered something new, that I think we're able to score up to 10 goals in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Sao Tome and Principe, being the second match of that group. And as we speak, the Super Eagles are currently enjoying themselves, on top of that table with 6 points from 2 matches. Well, at this moment, I want to welcome Bade Adele, the maestro I call him, because with him you always be very sure of getting those highlights, those points, very punchy, and sometimes his punches on some of the issues, particularly when things are not going right. I'll say, but play that, because I think we wouldn't want to cause, another war around here. But, Bade, I must tell you, I always enjoy your company on Capital Sports. You're welcome.
Thank you, Abdullah. I'm flattered.
All right. Now, I think we have so much to talk about, and not also forgetting that our viewer can be parts of the discussion, but that will be when we open the lines for you also to join us. I think the celebration is still on, probably until something, untoward or maybe below the performance of what we saw in Morocco happen before we will say, okay, that has taken away our joy of the celebration. But Bade, we all watched that match and we saw, the anxiety was not there. You remember we've come here several times to talk about how the Super Eagles in recent years have made us football followers, stakeholders, to always watch them with that anxiety of probably are we going to score or we're not going to score. But I think that day they gave us an overdose, I want to call it, of the goals, the results, and even the play.
Abdullah, we saw a totally different Super Eagles that day. I must tell you, many people are going to downplay the fact that they scored 10, not knowing, saying they scored against Minos. But that's not the issue. We've played so many teams that we struggled to get a 1-0 win or a 2-1 victory. And even we played Sierra Leone and we were leading 4-0 at home, and it became 4-4. So whether you like it or not, you might say they are down there when it comes to FIFA rankings. But what we're talking about is that even if it's a training, let's say the Super Eagles score as many as possible goals. That was what we could see that day. We cannot say maybe it's a bad team. Look at the goal by Terem Murphy. That beautiful goal, the way he controlled it and scored that goal. So many things that we saw. We saw determination, we saw passion. Even a player that had already scored 3 that still wanted to score 4, and after 4 wanted 5. That's beautiful to see. We know it's not yet Euro. It's not like we should be celebrating that that the Super Eagles are really back. But it's just a sign of good things coming. Let's hope they can continue with that. Going into the match, just like you said, we expected the Super Eagles to get a win, knowing full well that a team like Guinea-Bissau, beat them at the same turf, 5-1. So I expected the Super Eagles to win at least, by a 6-goal margin. At the end of the day, it was 10. That's beautiful. But Abdullah, the beautiful thing about that match would just be how the Super Eagles played and how they converted their chances. Not that we're celebrating the scoreline, but the passion behind it and the entertaining football. It's what people are celebrating.
Okay. In that same match, we saw the class difference of where we are and where they are, because the Super Eagles actually played like the Super Eagles, considering probably the ranking and also probably head-to-head comparison of the individual players. We have some of the big names and played in some of the big clubs as far as European football is concerned. I think they made that class difference and the result came. If we juxtapose it together, I think there is nothing short of just beautiful football, happiness, joy, all lumped together at a time when we're celebrating our Democracy Day.
And that was the perfect gift for Nigeria at that time. And knowing that the last time a player scored for Nigeria 4 goals, in fact the only player that scored it was Rashidi, the late Rashidi Ekini, and Victor Osimhen now coming up with 4 goals. He could have made it 5 or 6, but we're going to manage the 4 that I scored that day. And that's Nigeria's biggest win yet. The last one, the biggest one before that time was a 10-1. But this time it was 10 unreplied goals, which shows that something beautiful is coming. You cannot tell us that we've not played teams that are even not at the same stand on the same radar with Sao Tome and Principe. We've played teams that are down there, and they really took it down the wire with the Super Eagles. Now that the Super Eagles, they are really showing that they're super. We know it's against Sao Tome and Principe. They should have done that against Ghana or some other team, or even when they played Ecuador recently. But Abdullah, let's bask in the euphoria of that for now.
Okay, well, while we still do that, we hope that
they will maintain the same momentum and give us so much to cheer, and to also pay back some of the wound or injuries we've lost over time of their lackluster performance.
Abdullah, like I've always said, I don't think anybody can, people can get healed in Nigeria until after the World Cup. Even the healing that you find the moment the World Cup starts and you cannot find your darling team, the wound resurfaces. So it will be after the World Cup that people can start healing.
Okay, well, quickly, like we also noticed Osimhen has joined
also the league of top scorers, chart in Nigeria. I think just
with top 10.
Yes, now with just 20 caps.
Yeah.
23 caps, if I'm not mistaken, and with 15 goals.
And he's still young.
Yes. So I think he has so much to count for him. Probably he will surpass the records of later Rashidi Ekini of blessed memory.
With the way we've celebrated Victor Osimhen, I still don't think we've celebrated him the way we celebrated Julius Ayaowa at some point in Nigeria. They was even giving us the celebration of the somersault and everything. At that point, we felt that man was going to break the scoring record for the Super Eagles, which at the end of the day, the man just disappeared into thin air. Although if you want to find him, he's still with the Nigeria Police Force. So that's just it. But the way he's still very much young. It's gone through the ranks from under 17 to under 20, and he's with the Super Eagles now. He's still a young player. I've been, been in a top team in Europe for the first time in Napoli. We still understand that years to come, he could be going to Arsenal or any other team in the Premier League. So with that, just saying that this man scores like 10 in a year. So for the next 3 years, if he scored like if he scores like 30 goals, it will be on 45, and that would have surpassed Rashidi Yekiniwa's 37. So with the way things are going right now for him, I think he has the chances. In fact, I want to believe that he's going to break the scoring record. But Abdullah, we've always been blessed with good strikers. But now, I don't want to be the Super Eagles coach. It's really, 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 going through a lot when it comes to the selection of the strikers. You have Terry Murphy, you have Victor Osimhen, you
Emmanuel
have
Dennis.
Emmanuel Dennis, Cyril Dessers, and you have guys that the beautiful thing about his football is that he wants to use two midfielders so that he can play two strikers, the top nine and the supporting striker.
Okay. Now, quickly, Bade, let's just leave the Super Eagles to, continue to do what they needful for us now. The part of the joy, with us here is the under-17 team also are doing us proud at the WAFU B under-17, which also serves as a qualification. I think defeating Ghana, I think, was one great feat for us, and also beating the Sparrowhawks of Togo to qualify for the semi-finals. Quickly, please. So that
Abdullah, you see, when I see results like that, I celebrate it, and it's very simple. We know at some point in Nigeria we ruled the world, when it comes to under-17 championships and all that. But that time we had people that at the time that I was in my 20s. I had people that were in their 30s and were playing for under-17, and you were calling them Little Messi or all that. So that time we knew that we were fielding teams that were over age. Maybe that time there was this MRI and all that. We didn't really have it. But now we can tell you that these guys are really young, Abdullah. You see them, they're in secondary schools in Abuja, they're secondary schools around the country. In fact, there was a player that represented Nigeria at the under-20, WAFU B under-20 championship, and came back to write. I think he missed his examination and is writing NECO. So that tells you somebody that is writing NECO, you cannot tell me that he's 20-something or he's 30-something. So this time around, we're having the young guys and they're churning out the results, which is beautiful. The coaches have been with them for a long time. We have, people like Lerika, Aruna Lerika, and of course the head coach Nduka Ugbade, who has done this thing with 8 great teams and all
so
that.
Much experience.
Coaches will always, what we have to know in Nigeria is not every coach that can, some are just talented when it comes to discovering talents. You must not move from under-17 to under-20 with your boys. This man is good with under-17. He's building a beautiful team. They beat Ghana. You could see the beautiful goals, especially the free kick. And we saw that against Togo 2-3-1, which is beautiful. Let's see what they're going to do in the semifinals. Obviously, we're supporting them and rooting for them.
All right, Bade Adeleye, I think it's high time now we, went to the phone to see if our callers will be able to, get across to also talk to us, get their points and share with other viewers on the program. The telephone line is on the screen. You can dial us and also let us know how you feel about some of this, highlight, particularly the Super Eagles result that I'm saying we're still enjoying at the moment. Now, quickly about that, just yesterday, back home here in the FCT, we saw the finals of the FCTFA Cup where EFCC. I thought I wanted to ask you at a particular time whether that team is still in existence or they've disbanded them.
Very much.
So yesterday they just won the FCTFA Cup final, which I think is good for the against Melentariki football academy here at the Area 3 football pitch.
Abdullah, 2-3 things. Number one, EFCC at some point, the issue about them was that they said, the team that beat them to the spot in the, in the Nigeria National League, they brought out some inconsistencies and everything, protest letter and all that. It didn't work. They had to go down. And secondly, back to the FCT, talking about all these teams. It's very beautiful to see them, and it's not just about the goal; it's the way they won it. It was like a festival of goals again. They're not just only the Super Eagles. But one thing is that every year we get to see almost different teams winning it. Last year it was about Wako and all those people. But where are they now? So that's another thing. This thing has become a tradition. People just come and they win the FA Cup they go and, you know, we know that their next game, they're going to face any team from the top flight, and they're out again. So what happens to all these teams? That's another question. But congratulations to them. Let's see what goes out, you know, what comes out of that. But we still have, especially in the FCT, that we do not have any team in the Nigerian top flight.
Yes.
Teams like EFCC, CTFC of Abuja, these teams, we have to be pushing them. I know you want to know where we are. Where's the Supreme Court of Abuja?
Well, at the time I was part of that team, but
I think I wouldn't know for now where they are. I think, like you mentioned, consistency and also,
you know, support, you know, for some of these teams. But don't also forget, most times it has always been in the hands of governments. And if government has a handful of other things to take care of, I think football is usually the least to be attended to. So I think we need more private individuals to come in with that, you know, financial muscle to be able to do the needful.
Well, we always tell people one of the ways you can give back to the society, if you know, is, you know, supporting a football club. You'll be empowering, you know, thousands without knowing. You might just have a team of 30 players, but you're feeding like their respective families. And of course, they do not know that football is business. Just imagine selling a player straight from your academy. They represent maybe the Flying Eagles or the Golden Eaglets. From there, you sell them to Europe. You're bringing money to Nigeria and, of course, to the football club. With that, you can be surviving. So that is it. We just have to do it the right way. That's one of the problems. Let's do it the right way.
all right. Now, still talking about the FA for the women part of it, Nigeria Turtles. I think one big name in you know, women football in Abuja and probably in the country now also did destroy, let me use the word destroy, Joti Queens yesterday by 9 goals, I think, to nil. Was that too cheap for them?
See, Abdullah, you don't, as in, when Nigeria tells, I cannot deny the fact that they are very good. You know, I think what has been their problem is their success. Like, at some point, people expected them to do well at the last concluded, you know, Super Six.
Yeah.
But their coach and their players were with
let's
the
see,
national team.
let's just halt here a little, see if we can get this caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Quickly, this Capital Sports. Oh, we missed that call. All right, you can still call back to also let us know how you feel about some of the issues, and also give us, you know, your observation about how we can move our football or other sports forward in the country. All right, buddy.
So, you know, they had their, you know, their team and even their coach with the national team, and they couldn't perform there. So in FCT, I expect them to make a mixed meat of, you know, any team they face, and that's what they've just done. And I'm very hopeful, not like the other teams like EFCC. For Nigeria Turtles, I know they can go all the way to the final of the FA Cup.
Now, one thing also I want us to also, you know, highlight here is that their success, could it be tied to the fact that it is being driven or managed by an individual? Because most times, if you draw comparison with, you know, government-owned clubs, you see there have always been issue of consistency in terms of you know, players' wages or salary, and so many issues around the progress of the team. But Nigeria Turtles, I think, is owned by an individual, and he's not looking back in terms of, you know, supporting, promoting, and also giving them what they need to deliver.
Abdullah, two things can always help you when you're building a team and you want them to challenge. Once you bring out the money, real investment, and you know, get some players that you know that they are very good, no matter the amount, just like the Manchester Cities of this world and PSGs of this world. But secondly, at times you might not be the best team. Remember what happened to Leicester in 2015, 2016 that they won the league. You know, they were hungry. One thing about the Nigeria Turtles players is that they are very young and hungry. So it's not that they bought maybe a player for, you know, 10 million naira, let's say in Nigeria, and, you know, they're not putting it that way. But, you know, they just got young, hungry ladies who didn't really know how to play football. They're everywhere. They just looked for them. Their recruitment process was very much okay. So they got the young players. Most of them are playing for under 17. So that means they will be 16, 15, and they're very talented. So that's it. So the group is young and very talented and passionate and very much hungry. So we can say maybe because it's for private sector, no, but not that in a government-owned club that there is going to be in the budget. You have 20 million naira to go recruit players. But at the time the guy was coming, he knew that we don't have that money to waste and all that. Coach, can we get young and hungry? And they got them and assembled them, and they were on fire. So that's another thing. Not really the investment. It's just that they got the right people to fill the right places.
And getting the right people, including getting the coach that is currently handling the under-17 female team, which
Yes,
I think,
Bankole Olowoke.
yes, I think is good for the team. Well, we'll keep supporting them because they are a team of the FCT, and like we have always said, but they were looking forward to seeing one team in the FCT, being a part of the Nigerian Professional Football League, where maybe week in, week out, or midweek, we go down to the stadium to watch, a team we can call our own because of our association of the proximity of
Even
where we
Abdullah,
find ourselves.
the NTA team can make it to the to the Premier League so that you can play too.
No problem, no problem. We'll keep building our team. Now, quickly, the tennis world was just,
Shocked with Serena Williams, announcements of probably returning to the court after probably like a year of nursing an injury. She's talking about coming back to participate at the Wimbledon.
is she not still satisfied with her 23 Grand Slam?
She has, to allow the younger ones take over.
There's nothing about the younger ones here, especially in games like golf, tennis,
Okay.
and if Ronaldo is 37 and he's still doing the right thing, he has she has a record.
She's 40.
It doesn't mean Abdullah. She's still hot. I mean in terms of fitness.
Wow.
If I must say, what drives players most times, maybe you're doing golf, cricket, football, anything, awards, knowing that there are records to be broken and all that.
Yes.
She's just one trophy, one title away from equaling, the biggest record in the world of tennis. And I think she's going to do that. But one thing about players when they're in their 30s, almost their 40s, what they do is that they plan. Even Naomi Osaka plans the tournaments she's going to go for. And there was a way that she strategically won the US Open. She knew that that was her strength, and she waited and she did not participate in some, tournaments coming up, in the build-up to that tournament. It's like many people are pulling out. She's had time to train well and everything. So she feels that she's strong and she could go far. And it could be this Wimbledon that is not going to have any change, is not going to have any effect on the rankings, because there will be no ranking points due to some political issues in the tennis world, which we will not be dwelling on now. So I think she must have thought about it, that I think I should just go for this. So I remember she has memories there at the All England Club. So it would be good to see Serena Williams. I can tell you, when she's playing, in fact, that's one of the, you're going to have the highest number of viewers and even spectators, because nobody wants to see her retire now. In fact, when you see any headline, Serena Williams, you're just praying that it's not that she wants to retire. Because now, nobody has got that charm when it comes to women's tennis for now. When everyone is coming, the consistency is not there. Just look at Imara Raducanu. She just won a tournament and it's been one injury to the other and all that. So,
all right, Badia
she's
Dele,
welcome.
thank you very much. I think my director is beginning to, signal that I think we fast spent our time. And I must say, before we go, we learned also Esebrume just set a new season best of is this 6.9 or 9 point.
Abdullah, the beautiful thing is that this is one of the our most talented players we've got in this country. You see her, you talk to her, you know that she's very dedicated, and she does not take sports with any levity, and that's beautiful. She's an example to fellow athletes. She's someone to look up to. Let's pray none of them this time around will try to do drugs.
Thank you very much, Bada Adele, for sharing your thoughts, perspective, and depth of analysis on Capital Sports. And we'll always happy having you here. Viewers, I want to thank you also for those who have been trying to reach us with calls, and I think they were not able, probably the network. But we are assuring you that next week, same time, same station, will be another golden opportunity to be part of the conversation here. Bada Adele, we thank you for being a part of it. For now, we'll be going out of the studio, but I must also commend the director who has been behind the console, and all those that have also made it possible for us to reach you out with the discussions today. I remain Abdullah Hajia, the striker on the driving seat. Bye for now.